All right, everybody. Welcome to the green room of the Ontario Improv. So, unlike probably every other week or show, this is the second week where we're doing two in a row. So, I was here, he was here the last time, but we got a newbie. So, introduce yourself.
Lucas Seeley.
Lucas Seeley. So, first off, watch the first one so you can see what he said and what we talked about before, how to adjust, how to deal, you know, how different these shows are. So why don't you, like, what did you expect and how different was it? Or was it what you expected? I don't know. Before you went on stage last time, we talked about it. And you had an idea of what it was going to be.
Yeah, well, I had the idea that it, like, you know, I wasn't going to have to censor myself or do anything, like, super, like, PC.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that I didn't take into account of is, like, I don't know what it was. I think it was, like, Thursday night or something like that.
Sure.
People still have, like, things they have to do tomorrow. They're not all going hog wild like you would see on the weekends.
Right.
Yeah, I felt
You
like
felt like the weekend shows were
a lot more, like,
Cray.
yeah, let's get it going, rowdy, having fun, and these guys were like, well, we have work at 8 in the morning, so.
here's what I think. Here's how I tell people about shows. Thursday show is the second best audience. They really come to see comedy.
Mm-hmm.
They're not about the weekend. They're not about spending time in the weekend. They're literally here to see a show.
Yeah.
That's their thing. They're not people trying to figure out what to do.
Mm-hmm.
They're specifically here on a Thursday knowing that they have stuff to do tomorrow to see a show. And pretty smart. Friday's first show usually are people that wanted to come on Saturday but couldn't get tickets on time,
Mm-hmm.
and so, but they're good and they're fun, and some of them are, yeah, let's do it the weekend, but we got stuff to do on Saturday, so let's go Friday. But they're tired because they've worked all day. And you have 2 to 3 beers before I get on stage.
Mm-hmm.
So those people are like, it's a fun crowd, but you can still feel that a little bit of a kind of a weekend tinge.
They're weathered throughout the day.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Second show on Friday is usually the craziest show because those people are tired, but it's later and they've had more drinks.
Oh, yeah.
So that's the show that always has the hecklers, the crazy people, the unpredictability. You know, that's the show where somebody thinks they're helping, right? You know the people we're talking about.
Yeah.
For you people that don't know, the people that think we're helping are the people that yell shit out during the show but have no idea that they're taking you from what it is. They're taking you somewhere else. Because in stand-up, the better you are at stand-up, usually, barring a few comics whose flow is different, but for the rest of us, the better you are, the more it feels like you're having a conversation with the audience, and people kind of feel like this is what we're doing. Yeah. It's not. It's just that once you get good enough, it feels like that, and so that's the Friday show where they just like, dude, and they say whatever. Saturdays, both shows are pretty similar. Good, energetic, bought their tickets way before everybody else most of the time, or last minute, but there were a few tickets left, but they're fun, they're energetic, they come, they're ready to go. It's what you were saying.
Yeah.
They're like, let's do this. We've been waiting, let's do this.
Yeah.
Sunday shows are even more mellow than Thursday,
I agree.
but they're smarter. And Sunday shows are deceiving, because Sunday shows are the shows where you get off as a comic sometimes and go, oh man, I don't know what it was. I was like 95%, 90%, but I just never got to that 100%. And then you get off stage and everybody wants a picture, everybody wants an autograph, and everybody tells you how fucking amazing it was. And then you realize they're the audience that is there mostly to absorb. They've already spent their energy, they don't need that, and they're just kind of giving you like what they have, but they're also taking in what you're saying, so you don't have to perform as much.
So what's your favorite
That's
order?
kind of the way it feels.
What's your favorite order, or like?
I like them all, because I don't like if we only did Sunday shows, I would hate it. I would hate it because I want that audience Saturday 7 o'clock, Saturday 9 o'clock, because I want an audience to make me go fast and take away all the fat and just hit them like fucking home run, home run, home run. Whereas to, on Sunday I could be like, all right, I'm gonna hit a triple, and then I'm gonna hit a bunt, and then, it allows me to flow better. I'm gonna give them some smarter stuff. I'm gonna talk about this other thing that I normally don't talk about. That's probably not gonna hit the emotion, but it's gonna hit the brain. So I need all those types of shows, or else, you know me, dude. It's like going to different cities. I have to go to these other cities to feel like I'm a good comic, because I need to know that I'm gonna do well in those cities. So for me, I just see them as different. But that's some shit that happens when you get older. When you're young, you're like, oh, I only like these type of movies. You get old enough, you go, let me get this straight. I'm gonna spend $20 or whatever on a ticket to go see a movie. I'm gonna spend on popcorn and this, and if you go to a movie where they actually give you food, you're gonna spend anywhere between $50 and $80 by yourself, right? To go eat and watch the movie. I'm gonna fucking enjoy it. For that kind of money, I'm not gonna walk out nitpicking at it and going, you know what, I would have liked the movie better. Fuck that. I had a good time. I can remove those filters now. That, I don't know if you guys can. Can you remove those filters? I know with movies you can't still.
Nah. But I also
because you and I see a lot of movies where you go, fuck, and I'm like, all right, I had fun. I enjoyed it.
Plus I have the AMC thing where it's like I watch 3 movies a week, so it's like I don't spend as much money as like somebody that doesn't have that.
But it's still your time.
Yeah, but
you're literally choosing
what am I
to not enjoy 2 hours or 2.5 hours.
I go in with an open mind.
Bullshit.
Yes, I do.
Oh, God, come on.
I go in with an open mind,
Dude,
bro.
you do not, bro.
Yes, I
I know you well enough. Come on,
I know myself. I'm a guy who watches the reviews and stuff before I go in.
Yeah.
See, I don't do the reviews. I don't like to have other people's opinion until I make my own. So that's like, I just go in and watch by myself. I mean, I watch B. Sterling movies, Lou.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
I just watch them all. Like, I just like watch
Me too, but that's why I can enjoy them. Now, here's the difference. I enjoy some movies way more than others.
Yeah.
Right? Some movies I enjoy them for the moment. I go, oh, I'm glad I saw it. I don't want to remember any of it. I don't want to retain any of it. I don't want to think about any of it. I just was like, that was okay.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, I'm like, fuck, I want my 2 hours back. But if I say that, you know that it just had no redeeming qualities whatsoever.
Yeah.
I think in the last 5 years you've only said that like once or twice.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah. You recently just said that.
Yeah.
We're not gonna
I
say
forgot
the
what movie it
Oh
was.
man, I want to know.
Okay.
Was what?
The
Which one? Say it.
Uncut Gems.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Was it?
No.
No,
Don't get me wrong. No.
Adam Sandler is an amazing actor. I think he did great in it. It's just everything around it sucked. For me.
I still need to see that.
That's not how I feel about it. I feel about it like this. The one thing that I need in a movie or even on stage is somebody who's likable enough that I can empathize or sympathize with their pain. But his character in that movie, to me, had zero redeeming qualities.
Yeah.
There was nothing about him that I liked. So here's the problem. If something bad happens to him, I don't give a shit.
Who cares?
I don't like him.
But isn't that the same emotion where he did it so well that he didn't get you to like him, and he played that character? Your emotion wasn't of like; it was more of like that you don't.
If that's what he was going for, yeah. But here's the problem. My filter when it comes to movies is I need to sympathize with you, or I just don't. There's nothing.
You're looking for a real protagonist.
Look. Even if you're like a killer, you could be Venom and eat people for it. That's like he eats people.
But
you feel for it.
But there's a little part of me that's like, I get it. If I had that power and it came with a dude who every once in a while had to eat somebody, all right, let's eat some douchebag. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, there has to be that. And I'm not saying anything about his performance or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. There are comics like that, right? Let's not name names because this isn't that type of thing. Yeah. But there are comics, like me, by the way, viewed from a different lens, who when I go on stage, I'm so like forthright and real that I'm sure some people go, I don't fucking like this guy. I don't like the way he delivers it. I don't like the way he says it. And you can go, but what did he say that was wrong? And they'll go, I'm not saying that what he said was wrong. I'm not even telling you that what he said isn't like actually accurate. His jokes are fucking real. I don't like him. I get that because I don't always portray on stage that side that is uber vulnerable to those guys. So I get it, but there are comics that when I watch, I go, ugh, I can't.
People love me.
Not because they're funny, but people what?
People love me. I'm a lovable guy when I walk on stage, bro. People look at me and they're like, oh, look at this cute, cuddly teddy bear. And then I say jokes and they're like, oh, and he's funny.
You do look like a human version.
I've seen women get pissed because of your use of the word bitch. Because when you're on stage,
my ex fucked me up.
Women are not women. Every single time you refer to a woman, she's a bitch.
Listen, okay, maybe that's true, but I have my reasonings.
Okay, I'm just saying.
I feel like every woman's a bitch.
My mom would hate you.
But I bet your mom has some bitch qualities.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah, that's
every woman has bitch qualities.
That's different.
By bitch, and let me make the definition of bitch, right? Because people are like, oh, there's no female dog. No, bitch is like when you could be fucking mean and not a fucking ladylike woman.
So then that means everybody's a bitch.
Yeah, I'm a bitch too. I call dudes bitches too.
Yeah, but you see that then that doesn't apply. Find a different word because bitch for a woman, no matter what you say, has baggage.
Every woman has baggage.
No. Every human has baggage. Mm-hmm. But you're putting bitch on all women instead of just saying everybody has an attitude or everybody has ups and downs.
Yeah, but
see, listen to the difference. Watch this. Here's how I feel about women. All women, just like all men, have good moments, bad moments. Some women who are hotter are a little more pretentious. You gotta put up with more shit, but they're hotter. Uglier chicks tend to be a little nicer because, they have to. But everybody, even guys, have moments where, we're just selfish. And they're like, I don't care how you feel, this is how I feel. That's way different than all women are bitches. Way fucking different, bro.
Sounds very accurate.
I agree.
Every woman has fucking bitch qualities that you're just like.
Nah, that's
like
just your
every
filter.
Woman has that nagging shit or they fucking jealousy or some crazy shit to them. Every fucking woman. I've never met a same, even the ones that are like, oh honey, you're so sweet. They're fucking cunts.
But that's also from your point of view. So some people,
correct.
To you, those are bitch qualities.
Show me a woman that you think is perfect.
But to me, those might not be bitch qualities. So that's only your point of view of what
to me,
a
every
bitch
woman's
quality
a bitch.
is.
And I say it in the most caring, loving way I could possibly say.
Yeah,
that wasn't even it. My point is that you piss people off because that's your perspective.
Yeah, but before I piss them off, they like me.
That just, you know what that sounds like? That sounds like, before he raped me, the date was going fine. it was fine. No, it was really fun. He was nice. He picked up the tab. He was talking to me. Everything was great. And then he stopped learning. He didn't know what English means because I kept saying no. He didn't know what the fuck. He didn't stop. Like, come on, dude. But anyway, going back to, let's finish this up. You've been performing here before how many times? At this specific club?
Yeah, over a dozen.
Yeah, so how different does this feel from like your hometown, Billings, Montana? Like, how different does this feel?
Very different. They seem to have some type of connection with me, being that it was a predominantly ethnic crowd.
Right.
Versus
so you're not the fucking koi in the middle of a bunch of fish.
Yeah.
Because over there they're like, oh, you're an Asian guy, and here you're just like every other dude that we see anywhere outside.
Yeah.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
And so when you do you hear a difference? Do you feel a difference when you do your act and you do jokes that are about ethnicity?
I feel like they laugh harder.
Because they identify with it.
Yeah, they identify, so they laugh a lot harder. Where I think, people in the Midwest, I'd say, they're politer. Mm-hmm. So, they don't want to sometimes laugh too hard at some of my self-deprecating jokes.
Yeah.
It happens a lot in Minnesota.
Yeah.
You do something too self-deprecating, and they're like, "Ooh, pump the brakes."
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, dude.
Ah.
Yeah. I'll do something. What is it? Just like it's just a bunch of nice people, and like they want to laugh, but if they do something, they don't want to be like, "Oh no, you're right. You are this way," or.
But that's why I have a joke that, like, if people, the moment somebody goes ooh to a fat joke, I'm like, guys, I chose this life. Like, I wasn't born,
Right.
like, it's not a disease. And then they understand, and then they're like, all right, back to reality. Let's go to self-deprecating.
Yeah.
Tell that to a white Anglo-Saxon Minnesotan, and they're gonna be like,
I've done it, and it kills.
It's, you know what? You have to give them the okay to laugh in
Yeah.
America today. That's why most of my shows start with some version of "It's okay to laugh." This is the place. Like, you know, when people tell you it's not appropriate here, it actually is. This is the one place. Is there? Let's finish up. Is there something that you feel like you can't do with audiences on this specific stage at the Improv in Ontario? Is there something that you feel like, yeah, they won't go there?
Me first?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, that's...
Or shit that scares them, or shit that you're like, oh, maybe I'll just not do that joke.
You know what? I haven't, to this crowd, I've said some really crazy things, and they've all, I feel like there's no boundaries here, really.
Okay.
Like, this in Miami is like one of the two places where I could just say and do whatever I want, and they just accept it.
Nice.
Yeah, so
That's a great feeling to have.
Yeah, I don't think...
Did you feel like there's something that you didn't want to get to, or that they wouldn't take the right way?
I mean, and not that they wouldn't take it the right way, but I think it wouldn't hit like I'd want it to.
What is
like,
that?
I have a joke about the Minnesota accent, and it works in a lot of places.
Is it a Uper accent?
It's oh gosh.
Oh, yeah.
That kind of stuff.
It's instead of show, it's should.
Well, yeah, it's like, oh yeah, I do some stupid accent.
Oh, that's a great show.
Oh gosh.
Oh, that's a great
geez.
show.
Oh
geez.
gosh.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
so funny. It's a great show.
Heavens to bits.
Right.
You know, some shit like that.
Right.
And like it works, but I don't think it's gonna resonate as I can do it in Middle America, and it's a lot of fun. And in LA, you get a lot of people that are from Middle America that get that.
The way I would do that joke is I would compare it to a lot of other places and make it very specific to wherever I am. So if I was going to do that here, I'd look at the audience and go, it's this percent this, that percent that. Well, I'm from this. You guys talk like this, which is awesome and kind of strange where I come from, and then you juxtapose it, and then maybe you'll get that same reaction. As opposed to just leaning on the joke of these people talk funny.
Yeah.
Lean on. Everybody has their colloquialisms.
For sure.
And I'm here, and there's a lot of Mexicans, I would say, and you guys say, I seen it, because that's a very Mexican, hey, man, last time you were here, I seen you. And in my head, I'm like, you mean you saw me? But you don't want to be like that dick.
Yeah.
But if you make fun of that, or whatever that is, like whatever your perception of these moments are, always make your jokes bigger, because that accent works everywhere. In Billings, they have a certain way to talk. Over there, they have a certain way. Here, they have a certain way. So if you kind of work that out and go, you do this, they do that, we do this, then I think you can make fun. You should try it anyway.
I don't know. Try it.
Was there something for you, Brent?
Oh, gosh.
Oh jeez.
Oh, jeez. We put him in a spot. Oh, jeez. Oh, gosh.
I don't know, like today I went a little extra weird on one of my bits.
Yeah?
I was making I probably went an extra minute.
Yeah?
I was
just
like,
doing hand jokes?
Yeah, I was in the green room and I heard it, and then I walk out and I go, what is he doing? He goes, I have no idea.
What was it?
I just talked about when I practice kung fu in my basement.
Block.
Usually the joke is just like, I just do a couple like, I'm in my basement, I'm like, punch, hit, block, but tonight I was like, hit, I just kept on going.
When
I was done, I got an applause break.
For like a minute he was doing that, bro.
Yeah, you committed to that shit.
I committed.
See, how much fun is that, dude?
That was
so
great,
to be
yeah.
on stage and at a time where you could just say, fuck it, and it's going to work or it's not, but you jump.
Yeah, because I got back in the room and Cisco's like, yo, man, you went kind of weird. And I'm like, it was just one of those moments where I felt it and I just kept on going because that's what I wanted to do and that's what I felt.
Yeah.
And that's how it really, in my basement, it was that. It was just consistent.
Sure.
It wasn't just a couple moves, man.
Right.
It was like...
Right. Yeah. It wasn't that, and then it was and then they're like, I'm tired, dude, and you just kept going.
Yeah.
Did you have one of those like wood things?
The doll?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
You did?
No, I didn't.
Like an
Yeah.
That's Wing Chun.
The Wing Chun?
Yeah, that's Wing Chun people. Yeah. That's what
Yeah.
they did.
For me, in these, it's not about like what, like a fear in that respect, but I have to tell myself not to get too deep into the Spanish Mexican thing, because I can easily start telling a story about my family throwing a party, and all of a sudden 75% of what I'm saying is Spanish.
Yeah.
But here, 80-75% of the crowd might get the joke. And it's going to sound amazing because that 75% is laughing at 100%. So it feels like 100% people laughing. But when you have 350 people,
There's gonna be a few that
and
don't
you
get
have
it.
25% not laughing, you're talking about, about like 75, like almost 90 people not laughing.
Yeah.
And that's too much. That's when you're ignoring a certain segment of your audience. So I have to tell myself, like, don't get too authentic with a small or the Latino group of people who get it. Like, still keep it funny for everybody else.
Is there ever a point where you do go like full on, like you're catering to straight up the Latino demographic?
I don't cater to them. It's just that a lot of my stories happened in Spanish.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I translate it to English.
Yeah.
Because I want everybody to get it. And I want to do them in English, even though I can do them in Spanish.
Yeah.
Because if all I do is do them in Spanish and then I end up in Minnesota, then I'm not gonna be on point. It's gonna take like half a second for me to translate it and turn it in, and then is the translation the appropriate translation? So I want to work that stuff out
For sure.
way before I get to those places. So it's not about catering to them. It's about the authenticity of the moment itself. It's, okay, I'll give you an example. I don't know if you felt, looked, or behaved as Asian as you are while you were practicing, or are you Asianing it up to make the joke funny, right? To me, it doesn't matter. But if the truth is in one, and then you do it the other to be funny, that's pretty cool. But if the truth is this, and then you tell that truth only amongst Asians, and then they get it, but outside of those Asians, they're like, well, we don't get it, or it's not that funny, then you have to adjust and make it American or English or whatever that. I don't know how to call that.
Well, the thing was, like, I watched like the old shit, like.
Yeah, I grew up on the same shit.
Yeah, so that's.
Here it was kung fu theater.
We did make noises, and even when I did go to actual karate school, it was.
Hiss.
Right. No, it was always those noises.
Right.
Just an angry snake. Just
Yeah.
Yeah, my son is Hai. That's him because it's
yeah.
Taekwondo, so it's Korean, so it's not the same martial art, but every martial art has their own thing. But that's my point. So if he was doing a show in front of people that grew up Chinese, Japanese, Korean, and he would be able to go, okay, so you Japanese do Hai, you know what I mean? And then you Chinese people do, and they would fucking laugh. But if you do that joke in people that don't do it, then how do you make that joke funny to them as well?
Yeah.
Because it's not going to get a laugh with them of like, oh my God, you're right. It's going to get a laugh of like, holy shit, really? You guys all have different stuff? You know what I mean? And then maybe you expand it to, people that don't, I don't know, maybe something like, top of my head, I'd be like, well, a lot of you guys that didn't do, karate or taekwondo, or you guys don't get it because in white people fights, you just go, and that's it. It's and that's it.
Can we talk about this, guys? Come on.
But that's your fucking angle. That's funny. You see what I mean? That's your twist on it.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. So anyway, this is stuff we think about from the green room. First show Thursday. We'll be here for the rest of the week. There's literally like a handful of tickets left. So by the time this is out, might not be any left. Might be some left. Go get them. But we will be here. all weekend except for Cisco.